despite our drill press idea, they warped. This one didn't warp, which is interesting. But all of the other ones, higher in the corners, they are in the middle. And I knew there was gonna be seams, but because of the warping, like the seams are pretty deep. And up against the blocks, like the seams won't be that noticeable, I'm hoping. And speaking of the blocks, all of the block boards are still like insanely wet. I guess that's just because of how much glue I put in between them. They've been sitting for 36 hours. So today's not gonna be as exciting when it comes to those as I thought it would be, because I don't think they'll be ready for paint today. But I'm gonna try to fix these. And this will be 3x3, which is pretty cool. So just what I'm thinking, actually what I'm gonna do is put the phone down and think for a second, and then I'll be right back. But this is gonna be the layout for 4x4. And I'm gonna glue like all these four. I'm gonna mount like MDF that I have sitting over there. And then I'll gap fill the seams. And then all of these like tiled ones, I'll keep separate so I can move them around. And that way I'll have like a 2x2 for like garlic blade or frost grave. I'll still have the 1x1 for my like crews or whatever I wanna use them for. And I'll be able to like still keep those extremely modular. I'll keep this one separate. And then these four I'll glue down. Maybe actually I probably won't glue this one down just because like of the hill, and keep it so I can like pop it, like if I want to pop it here or something like that. And then also it's not warped, right? That one's good. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make, with my remaining squares, I'm gonna make two more that are like this, that are like crumbling in, and make a transition to like this kind of earth. So that way it won't go from like fully perfect squares and just abruptly change. It'll be something like this, to where like this kind of makes sense. Like we're leading into that. Again, it's gonna take some love to get it there. But I'll make transitionary tiles from tile to earth. And that's what I'll use for the three gaps that are missing here. And glue all these together, glue these down. And also like I'm gonna take these offcuts I had and like cut them into squares, and I'll put these like crumbling on the tile, so these will serve like around the edges and things, and it'll be like maybe there were tiles here, or at one point in time this was tile 2 but it's not anymore. And then I think we'll have a pretty cool board. All right, we're just going for it. I'm using the porous side of the MDF, which is also probably gonna make it warp. But I think it's gonna work. I'm using Eco Weld, which it has resin, and I use it with leatherworking, but you can also use it with wood. And I'm hoping that this foam and MDF will suck it up. Okay, so this is all glued down, and I'm about to put a bunch of books on top of it again. But I just wanted to make sure everything was as even as I could get it. It's been 12 hours since I recorded this morning, and these are finally dry. These guys are all dry. There's still a little bit of wiggle, but not like, other than that, like these boys they're solid. I was happy with that. I pulled a corner up here of books just to take a look at how we're going. It's still not totally dry, but we are definitely like fixed the warping part or problem. I need to go back in and like trim up a little bit of overhang, but I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna put the books back on just because I'm gonna let it sit overnight, just to be sure, because I'm sick of playing games with these boards. I want to get this whole project done so I can move on to some other projects. I have this commission I still need to finish. I have this commission I need to finish. These guys. So I'm gonna have to either finish that board project like tomorrow, or at least get really close to done with it tomorrow, or come back to it, because I had to finish my actual army for Call to Arms, and I'm gonna do a whole table's worth of terrain for that event. I'm gonna use like the mat that I had that's underneath the boards, not actual boards, but I gotta paint all the terrain on top of it. And then also, I still have all the Trench Crusade stuff, and I still have the rest of the actual dudes to play Motley Crew. So I went from not having any hobby projects going on to being in a pickle. So I gotta get to painting like crazy. So last couple of days have been a little boring on the vlog, and that's why they've been so short. But next week I'm gonna be doing a lot of really cool stuff. And I've started cleaning up the workshop to make it more actually usable, and so I can like go around and give you guys tours and stuff, because there's a lot of cool stuff in here, but it's just all taken apart right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you. Oh, if you're still here, if you know, you know, I finally ordered the stuff I needed to get started with this project, so that'll be coming soon too.